At number 5, I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, you talked about earlier in the show, Patrick Mahomes going scorched earth. What you think Lamar Jackson is going to do? Remember, this team last year was riddled with injuries. The Cincinnati Bengals ended up in the Super Bowl, but it'll be much more difficult playing the Ravens this year than it was last year for any team that stepped on the field. At number 4, I got the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, this offense, I don't expect them to take a step back. I still have questions about this defense and where they'll be compared to some of the defenses in the AFC with the top teams. That's why I have the Chargers winning this division, but ultimately 15 is still there. Are they capable? Absolutely. They may end up in the big game. And speaking of the Chargers, that's who I have at number 3.
Wow.
The additions made defensively with this football team. I don't believe Brandon Staley is going to make the mistakes in the fourth down situations that he did last year. You get Bosa on one side, you bring in Khalil Mack. The one thing that slept on this team was hard in their run defense last year. They bring in Sebastian Joseph-Day to shore that up from the Los Angeles Rams. J.C. Jackson is going to have a little time off, but was an 8 interception guy. Derwin James is back with a new contract, healthy. We got to remember that this team is loaded on the defensive side of the ball from a talent standpoint. Number 2, Los Angeles Rams. To me, this team is poised to be right back in the big game again. I know we're talking about Matthew Stafford's elbow. I know we're talking about the things that transpired in the offseason, losing players, pieces being moved around. Aaron Donald is still there last time I checked. Last time I checked, Jalen Ramsey is there. This team has experience. They have a phenomenal head coach, and they got a quarterback that's going to will them to win games. And number 1, the Buffalo Bills. They did what I thought they needed to do this offseason. Obviously, Brian Daboll leaves, which gives me a little bit. I just want to see what they are offensively. Josh Allen is ascending, bro. He's played well, but he's still ascending. We saw in the championship game, in the playoff game against the Kansas City Chiefs, that this offense is electric. They can go toe-to-toe with anybody. The addition of Von Miller, they'll get Tre'Davious White back after 4 games, I believe. Leslie Frazier is still there. The Bills this has to be it for this team. This literally has to be it. Spending money, right guys in the right positions. Gabe Davis taking a step forward. We have to see these 5 teams do what I think they're going to do. But the Bills, Rams, Chargers, Chiefs, and the Ravens are my top 5 at the beginning of the season.
I really like that list, and there's a lot of interesting things about it. I don't have a lot of arguments. Chargers feel high, but Tannenbaum, where would you put the LA Chargers?
Number 1, they have the best player in the sport in Justin Herbert.
You would literally, I know that you have adopted Justin Herbert.
No, he didn't.
Exactly.
No, he didn't just say that.
He did.
Mike T, what you just said?
Swagoo, they could pass the score. They could close out games with a pass rush. When J.C. Jackson comes back, they have a great defense with Derwin James. They have no holes on this team. They address the offensive line, and they have the best player in the sport in Justin Herbert.
Yeah, we have renamed him, by the way,
the best player in the
Justin
sport,
Herbert - Tannenbaum.
Exactly.
He has adopted him.
He's having holiday dinner.
Saturday, as you look at this list, what do you see?
I would put the Bengals. I actually have the Bengals at 3, and I have the Bucks at 4, Chiefs at 5. So I think the Bengals have done exactly. Came on a little while ago, said everybody's off the Cowboys bandwagon, blah blah blah. That may be true. They're still a very good football team. They're very good on defense. Dan Quinn, they get turnovers. They take the ball away, force turns. They do all the things right on that side of the ball. I have a lot of trust in Dak Prescott. I think the way he is going to elevate his game, this is his moment. You talked about Patrick Mahomes having a career-defining. This is Dak's moment. You got the right tackle gone. You got the left tackle injured. You got my number 1 receiver. He's playing somewhere else. What do? I bring everybody in, and we go execute and handle our business. I believe that Dak Prescott's going to do that, and I think they end up getting the NFC.
Marcus, it's an interesting one because we're going to find out. We know that the quarterback position is disproportionately important in the sport. But the one advantage they have overwhelmingly over every team in that division is at quarterback. Dak is an established upper-level, top-tier quarterback in the NFL. None of the other teams in that division can say that. The rest of the way, the Cowboys have a lot of questions. We're going to find out a lot about the value of a quarterback, and I guess that one in particular, Swagoo, as this season goes along.
Jeff Saturday, you about to make me cry, man. Because I got to go with Philly, bro. Oh, my God. I can't believe I'm saying this.
Oh, no.
I can't believe I'm saying madness. I got to go with Philly because of just right now, Jeff, right, before any game start. And let me put this disclaimer out there. Y'all know damn well I'm rooting for the Cowboys. So let's get that out in the open. But right now, the way these rosters are constructed, bro, I think they can play around Jalen Hurts. And that's the only thing, because we keep talking about Dak and his ability, and we all believe in that. But if you look at the way this roster is constructed with bringing in A.J. Brown, with Devontae Smith, Miles Sanders in the backfield, which we don't talk about, an offensive line that's pretty dominant, you don't have to have – this is like Jimmy Garoppolo in San Francisco. Let me just give that example. Jalen Hurts will be fine. I think he'll play well. I think he'll play better than we've seen. But when you look at this roster surrounding him, he is not going to be asked to do over and beyond what a lot of these quarterbacks have to do in carrying their team. And that's why right now I give Philly the edge. Oh, that hurt.
Mike T, you've been on the Cowboys bandwagon all the way through. Are you wavering?
Not a bit. And Jeff, come on board. And when we don't see Swagoo on the sidelines before that home playoff game, we'll know why.
Yes, sir.
And we focus so much seriously on what Dallas doesn't have. We forgot what they do have. They have a great young receiver in CeeDee Lamb. They got a dynamic playmaker in Tony Pollard. They got a really good tight end in Dalton Schultz. They do have an overpaid running back in Zeke Elliott. But they also, let's give them credit, they drafted Tyler Smith in the first round. Yeah. It's not ideal losing Tyron Smith. It's not ideal to sign Jason Peters, but they are the best team in this division, and they have the best quarterback, and I still think they're going to – I don't think they go to the Super Bowl, but they win the division and host a playoff game.
Marcus, they may have the best player. Right. They may have the best player in the division, and he may play defense. Maybe Micah Parsons is actually the best player in the division and one of the five best players in the sport.
OG is no question. That's why I got the Dallas Cowboys still being in the wild card playoff spot. Now I ain't got them being dead in the water over the season. But when I look at this division, right? And Jeff can speak to this. Tannenbaum, Darlington, y'all been covering this long enough, bro. The division hard. You can have the best team in the division and still lose the division, right? So it's not like being out of the realm of possibility. But when I don't know what your offensive line is going to do. When I know that you're starting a rookie at left tackle, and it may work out. We've seen Tristan Wirfs jump in. We've seen Darisaw jump in. We've seen guys jump in and play well at that spot. There's a lot of change, though. Remember, guys, Lyle Collins is gone to the Cincinnati Bengals now. Zach Martin is the stalwart in there. Connor Williams left and departed to the Miami Dolphins, even though I didn't think he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. If that group, that unit, had a little bit more cohesiveness and I knew more about how well they would play together, then I would be on Dallas winning this division. But when all of those things transpired and I saw Tyron go out, even though he hadn't played entire seasons for the last couple of years, I still had him the second most important player for the Dallas Cowboys. So right now, I just have too many questions about this offensive line to say that they're going to win the division. If you want to hang your hat on anything, which I will, as far as them being a good football team, I think this defense will be good enough to carry them in some situations early in the season until they figure that out. But right now, I got to go with Philly, man. That roster just too good.
Let me give Darlington a quick final word. Go.
All I want to say is everything that needed to be said was said at the very beginning of this segment. Swagoo has the deepest voice I've ever heard in my life. If he's around my wife, I hide my wife, right? He sounded like Marvin Gaye at the start of this segment when he said,